y'all. So I know this isn't my usual setup, but I just did a interview for a postpartum unit, mother and baby unit, and I kind of just wanted to tell you guys kind of some of the questions they asked me and kind of walk you guys through of what the interview was like. So if you guys are curious, yes, I work right now. I'm working full-time on a nephrology unit, but I saw this opening. There's a part-time and a full-time, and I thought I would kind of shoot my shot and see if I could get in. So I did get an interview. I don't have any experience. I do work casually at an emerge and then at an urgent care clinic, so I mean that's kind of a little bit of experience with pediatrics and children and moms and all that, but other than that I don't have any experience. Like nephrology is all pretty much elders. So anyways, that's a little bit of a background. I did write down some of the questions that they asked me. So yeah, I hope you guys find this helpful if you're going to do an interview, or you kind of want to prepare to see what an interview is kind of like. Okay, so the first question they asked me was obviously, why did you choose, or why do you want to do postpartum nursing? They asked me that. And then they asked me, why are you leaving your current job? And then I kind of explained what I just told you guys, that mother and baby is kind of something that I've been interested in. You don't really get much of that on nephrology. Actually, don't get any of that on nephrology. Yeah, so that was my answer. Then they asked me to walk them through a head-to-toe assessment for a mom who just had a vaginal delivery, and then walk them through a head-to-toe assessment with a mom who just had a C-section. So in my head, I went through, the bubble heat, so the breasts, uterus, bladder, bowels, lochia, episiotomy. What else? What's H? Human sign, I think it is, and then like emotional status. So I went through that. And then for the C-section, I mentioned like looking at the site and like making sure it was intact and everything. But then something they kind of had to give me a hint on was like, okay, are they gonna be able to go to the washroom right away, like get up and walk? And I said like, no, they'll have a Foley, they'll have IV fluids running, whatever. And then they said, why won't they be able to get up and walk? They were trying to get that answer out of me. And what they were looking for was pain. So with C-sections, pain management is what they're saying is like your number one concern. So they asked me that. Then they asked me a head-to-toe assessment of a newborn. So, I was able to do that. There were some things like, they said, you're going to look at anything on the back, and I forgot to mention like the spine. But basically, I went through like the fontanelles, the ears, making sure it's like inner canthus to the ear, fingers and toes, vernix and the crevices, you know what I'm saying? What else? Yeah, the skin, making sure that, if their trunk is pink and then if their hands are, have cyanosis, like what that would mean, like stuff like that. So I just went through the head to toe of a baby, and then they asked me like, explain a time that there was like a conflict with a coworker and what you did. They also asked, actually I think that's about it. Oh, then they asked me about hypoglycemia in a newborn, the causes, the treatment, and what to look for. So that one I kind of was a bit iffy on. Like I did know that the causes were like if they're premature or large for gestational age or small for gestational age. I said if the mom's a diabetic or gestational diabetes, or they're not feeding right, whatever. But then when it came to like signs and symptoms, that kind of got me a little bit, because I did say the patient would be like diaphoretic, but apparently that's not a thing in newborns is what they told me. But that was the only thing that I didn't get, or I guess said that wasn't right. And then like the treatment, which I said was like the dextrose gel, and then how often you would be checking it. I said every 15 minutes, but they said, oh my gosh, no, you're not going to do that every 15 minutes. So there's that too. Yeah. And then yeah, so that was all the questions that they asked me specifically. I do have a friend who did like a postpartum interview as well, and they sent me some of the stuff that they asked, and I thought I would share it with you guys just so you know it can be helpful for you. They asked her about postpartum hemorrhage and kind of walking through a scenario with the postpartum hemorrhage. So like, you know, check for bleeding, call for help, fundal massage to make the uterus contract. You're gonna page the doctor. You're gonna ask someone to bring the postpartum hemorrhage kit. You know, you make sure you're doing vitals, increase the IV rate of oxytocin, make sure someone's documenting all this, confirm they have a Foley or insert one, give prescribed meds, comfort the family, stay with the patient, offer warm blankets and pain meds, make sure that they have 2 large bore IVs, just because if they need a blood transfusion or anything like that. So that was the postpartum hemorrhage. They also asked them to walk them through a code pink, which a code pink is like the neonatal resuscitation. They asked her to define professional practice, hard situation and how they handled it, conflict at work and how they handled it, which is very similar to the question that I had, why they should hire you, strengths and weaknesses, why they chose postpartum, breastfeeding basics, which I actually studied a lot for, but they didn't ask me anything at all about breastfeeding. So engorgement prevention and treatment, mastitis, I don't know if I'm saying that right, and then how many wet diapers baby should have in the first few days. So those are the questions I asked her. Not really similar to the questions I had. The generic ones I guess were similar, but not specific to the mother and baby unit. Anyways, I feel I did well on the interview. I won't know for, they said, probably about like a week or so, so I'm gonna try not to think about it, but I mean, it would be awesome if I got into that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be, you know, upset if I don't get it, because I mean, it was good experience for me to go through another like nursing interview. So I've done, I don't know, probably 4 nursing interviews now. Yeah, but I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you guys have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. Yeah, so that's about it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.